Hello and welcome to the Rabbitohs Centre. We are here for the Captains Run, live and free on Bunnies TV, and we've just had a player come out and he's right behind the pole over there, and it is Bailey Bentley Hape, and I know it is just a pole, but we're just about ready for the Captains Run to start. The game's on tomorrow. We play the Sharks at Shark Park at 3 o'clock. And I'm just going to check the stream. We've got a few people in today. Oscar's here assisting. There's Shaq Mitchell there. We've got Mikey and Clinton come in to give us a hand. But you are watching this on our George's camera, live and free on Bunnies TV. I'll just check the audio like I do each week. You can hear a little ad playing. Yeah, there you go. So you can live chat, and we've already got Karina Hazer in there. She says good morning to all, to you and to you, Mavo. And Dave Morton says, hey Karina and Bunnies TV. So you can live chat. We are brought to you, like I said, by George's Cameras and also the Juniors group of clubs, the Juniors Kingsford, the Juniors Maroubra and the Juniors Malabar. So yeah, we're just waiting for the players to come out. And like I said earlier, we've got a few assistants here today. But I'm just going to see if I can get Bailey. There he is. And it's a big triple header out there at Shark Park tomorrow. You've got the Jersey Flag starting off the day at 10:30 in the morning. They play the Sharks. Then you've got the New South Wales Cup against the ladder leading Jets. So that's going to be a tough test for those boys. And then the first grade and another tough test against the Cronulla Sharks. And we are not the favourites. They are short price favourites, the Sharks, to beat us. But like I've been saying, there's Miles Minto. I'll show you him a bit later. He's walking around. Miles, he'll be playing out there, I think, for the flag. I'm not sure. And yeah, look, if we compete like we've been doing. So we've been completing sets. There's Bailey, I'll get him on there, the debutant. And I thought he played quite well against the Dragon, did his job, took a couple of high balls, he's safe under the high ball. But yeah, the Captain's Run has not started yet. As you can see, no one's come out. So I'm just going to have a chat to you about our teams, and there's Miles Minto now. There he is. So this guy here, son of former Rabbitoh Johnny Minto, that's Miles. He plays on the wing for the flag. Talented footy player, this young fella. But not only that, he works for the Rabbitohs, and we've got some people up here on the balcony. We've got some corporate people up there on the balcony up there. And yeah, but like I said, if we can compete like we have been, complete sets over 80%, complete high, hold the ball. And Humphreys' kicking game's been great. He's been kicking long. So you get those two fundamentals right. Hold the ball, kick long, and you're not beating yourself. You're giving yourself every chance to compete in games, and so far it's been working beautifully. It is a tough test. They are a good side, the Sharks. They're a top 4 side, and we are still down our captain. We still haven't got no Latrell Mitchell or Alex Johnston and Ewan Aitken and a few others. But if we can hang in there, win a few games, and once we get a few players back, then who knows? Who knows what could happen? It'd be nice to think that we go over there tomorrow and play well and get the win, but you know, I think as long as they play well, a lot of people will be happy. Now, I was in this morning. We have the spa walk. We do the former players have a walk here every Friday. It's Dusty. Dusty Cooley's just walked in. Hello, mate. I'm live on Bunnies TV now, so yeah, come for a look.
Yeah, come and get a coffee and talk.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, well, nice coffee there in the Borough Cafe.
Great coffee.
I was in there this morning and I was just saying on the stream, we got in here, we do the walk at 6 o'clock and then we have coffee afterwards with Michael Andrews, and you know, there's a few there, a few old players that come and do it.
Dirty making an appearance?
Dirty wasn't there today, Dirty Neville, no, Dirty Darrell and Garlow wasn't there, but there was 5 of us there this morning. And anyway, when we get in and have a coffee, there's the first grade boys are sitting in there having a coffee, and then, you know, this morning we had Wayne Bennett walk in, and the great Steve Chimes Gillis walked in, the player manager, and then AJ walked in and said hello. So yeah, it was You always see someone in there at the cafe. Ricardo, Katrina and the team, they look after you there. And yeah, so we are just waiting. I'll have another look at the live chat. We've got a few in there now. We've got Cess Payne, and Cess Payne says, morning, Mava. Good morning to you, Cess. And Ostra Dorothea is in there and says, hi, Karina. So yeah, we've got a few of the regulars. Craig Cromlin's in there, channel member. Said, good morning, Katrina and everyone. How's the weather looking for tomorrow? So yeah, that's a good question. And the weather today here in Maroubra is overcast. It's nice and sort of warm. I'm a bit worried it might start raining because rain is not good for the camera stuff here at the Heffron Centre. But yeah, there's Jeremy Monahan over there. So for people that don't know, and I was speaking to Steve Fennick this morning. So Steve, if you're watching this, welcome aboard. Steve Fennick from Tech Guide, former Rabbitoh. Showed me a photo he got shaking George Pickens' hand back in the day. So yeah, Steve Fennick, he's got podcasts and electric vehicles, and it's all happening there. He's a very smart man, Steve, and he said he'd jump on and have a look. So if you're watching this, Steve, good on you, mate. So there's Jez there, right, with the backpack on, I think it is. And he's the man who invites us, and then he's the man who says cameras off. So we are allowed to film the warm-up, which they're not doing yet, so we're on early. They did say 9:15, and it's just gone 9:17, so they're running late. They might be having a meeting or something in there. They're in the gym over here. This is where they come out. So yeah, for regulars will know, but for those that aren't regulars, we film the warm-up, and then we get told cameras off after about 20, 30 minutes. Cameras off, and then we pack up and go in for the Wayne Bennett press conference. And Wayne Bennett press conference is always good. So there's the tennis centre over there. There's a few people having a hit of tennis over there, and there's a couple of people. This is where you can watch this session from. We're at Heffron Park here in Maroubra, and you can just lob up and stand over on the fence there and watch the boys. There's a few over there, and that's actually quite a good spot there because the boys always run out and run straight over there, and they do a lot of their training from over there. So yeah, it's always interesting. So yeah, we're just waiting for the boys. So yeah, I mentioned it before, it's a triple header out there at, it's called Shark Stadium now. It's not called PointsBet. They mustn't have the agreement with them, but PointsBet just got a little plug off me, even though it's not the naming rights sponsor, because I did go over there the other day and flew the drone to get some photos to share, and got some great photos of the stadium. And it's still called PointsBet Stadium. They haven't changed the signage, but it's just called Sharks Stadium now. And yeah, so a triple header over there, big day. I'm not sure about the weather. It might be a few showers, I think, from the last time I looked. But and then the other big day is there's 5 Pathways games on at Redfern Oval. So the day starts with the Lisa Fiola team. They're on first at 10:30 in the morning, and then they're followed by the Tasha Gale. They're all playing Penrith. Tasha Gale 19s, the Lisa Fiola 17s, Tasha Gale 19s. And then there's a 16s development game that we'll be filming. Me and Milo are going to call some action to that one. And after that, that's at 1:30, I think. After that, you've got the Harold Mats are on at 2:15 or 2:30. There's Mick there from the Cast Patrol. Hey Marissa, how are you? Marissa from Maroubra Community just walked in. And so yeah, we've got the Harold Mats, and then we've got the SG Ball is on at 4:15 in the afternoon. So it's a big day at Redfern there. They do charge a small entry fee, cash only, but it's worth it. And you've got the barbecue there. You've got the juniors look after the barbecue and the canteen. It's cash only, but you can have a feed, have a drink. You can sit in the stand and watch some quality footy there out there at Redfern. So it's a big day. I'll be there all day, taking photos, having a chat to some fans. We'll get plenty of photos. If you want your photo taken, come and see us. If you want to get on camera, we'll interview you, have a little video. Okay, see you over there. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we've just started early, and we've got Craig Cromlin said, is Ewan Aiken due back? I haven't seen much of him. Hazen Mellors, what's doing with him? So Ewan Aiken is here. I saw him walk in this morning. Like I said, I was here at 6 o'clock till 7:30. I seen Ewan walk in. I have heard a rumour that he's not far away. He did have shoulder surgery, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. There's former Rabbitoh Lockheed Lions over there, the doorman. Yeah. My former teammate. You got Steve Maven on the camera here, former Rabbitoh. And you are watching this live and free on Bunnies TV. It's always the way you go on a bit early and nothing's happening, but it'll be worth the wait once they come out, because you'll have Wayne Bennett on the field, and there's some points of interest in this team. So this week you've got Ravalawa has been named 18th man. Will he be coming into the team? And we've also got Josh from the Burrows here, and he's going to come and have a chat. He's got a couple of scarves. They've got new scarves available, this year's Burrows scarves. They're good, $30. See Josh at the footy and he'll sort you out with one of them. And we've also got Mikey here. So I'm going to get a couple of guests on to have a little chat. We're just waiting for the team to come out. Mikey, come over. So I've got Mikey here, and haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You've been on before. Now, what are your thoughts on the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I think. Look, I would be a lot happier if Hubner was our lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone can agree that his suspension was a little bit silly.
Yeah.
Considering it has no priors, and the fact that it wasn't even a penalty, that his crusher wasn't a penalty, and then Gutho went on to play like his best game of his career, so it clearly didn't impact him. So I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. Anyway, I would have been a lot happier with him playing, but the fact, again, I'm a bit 50-50, so hopefully today we find out if Talis Duncan's going to play, because he's got some kind of hip injury.
Yes. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there with if Tal comes in, and if he's ruled out like today, we'll probably see.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get through the session today, then who comes in? You've got
I think he can do the job. Like, I think Talis can do more. Like, I think Talis is a fantastic lock, and I think he'll do a job. But like, I was really happy with the Hubner and then Talis coming off the bench scenario, and that's what I think we should go for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think Lockie Hubner, what we've seen so far is that he's a worker. He's filling in for Cam Murray, and he's done quite a good job doing that so far. Anyway.
Yeah. And
so,
I think he'll keep it up.
So if Tal's ruled out, we might see someone like a Tommy Fletcher maybe get a.
Yeah, and from what I've seen of him, he's pretty good. Yeah. You know, he's a young up and comer. He deserves to have a shot, and yeah, I think if he's in the team, he'll do a good job. I think LeBlanc's on the bench as well.
Yeah, Liam LeBlanc's a chance to come. Yeah, so he's in. Is he? I think he's in. Is he, or is he on the extended bench?
No, he's on. I think he's on the bench.
Yeah, bench. Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah, and what are your thoughts on the new halfback, Jamie Humphreys?
The reason why I'm here today is to hopefully grab a snap with him. He's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I was a big proponent for Lewis Dodd coming here, and I was really looking forward to seeing how he played.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he does get suspended in the Charity Shield, and then Humphreys obviously gets the first crack.
Yeah.
And like, I knew, as we saw Humphrey play in the one game he played for Manly, he smashed it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh look, we'll see how this guy goes. And the first two games he was close to my man of the match each game. If it wasn't for Jai Gray absolutely giving 150 million% each game, it would have been Jamie Humphreys man of the match. But yeah, I'm really keen to see how he continues. Jamie Humphreys, and it looks like Talis
has come out and he's got his boots, so it looks like he's training.
He's training, so that's good.
And the first guy out was Bud Sullivan, Jaden Sullivan, and he's an interesting one. I mean, he could also fill in the halves. He's been playing 14, so he hasn't really had a lot of impact yet, but it'd be nice to see him get some work in.
He did brilliantly when he came on. Remember when we were down 2 players, I think, at the end of the game, where I thought, oh, here we go, we're going to lose this one because we're just too injured.
Yeah.
He comes on and he plays his heart out, Bud Sullivan. So
Yep.
Did he play in the forwards for a bit? I
think he did. Yeah, it's like off the 14 roll, you got to fill in there, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. He played, he helped us win. Without him, we don't win. He made some really, he came in with a lot of energy because he wasn't on until that time, and Yeah, he absolutely killed it for us then. So I think he's a really good. He was a really good bench player and really good. He helped us win last week.
And what about this fellow at fullback, mate? What are your thoughts on
Again,
Jai Gray?
as I said, Jai Gray. Wow. I don't know. Like, we were having this discussion. All Souths fans are having this discussion. He, in my opinion, needs to be our fullback for the rest of the year. If he is fit and able to play the game of rugby league, he needs to be starting fullback, even when our superstar fullback does come back, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, there's a debate raging on that, and watch this space because only Wayne Bennett knows the answer, but I suspect that he's going to put Trell back there when he comes back and move Jai elsewhere, but it'd be a shame because he's running the ball 30 times a game.
Yeah.
He's given this team so much impact, and the leg speed and the tough carries.
Almost 600 metres over 2 games. Like,
Yeah.
Has that ever been done before? I think I saw the stat that maybe has never been done before or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, there you go. It's
But
been it's crazy, you're right. And a little bit of skills out of the foot too after the Socceroos one last night. Jai just flicked the ball up there. That'll make the highlight reel, I think. But yeah, interesting what happens.
I mean, my perfect scenario, as we were discussing before, we have Jai at fullback, Trell and Wighton at centre, and then Graham, and once he's back, I think next week, AJ on the wing.
Yeah.
I guess Ravalawa for the time being, if he does play. Like, I don't even. There's a possibility of that new out of nowhere signing playing this week.
Yeah,
so,
there is.
I mean, if he actually comes out here in this kit, there's a possibility that Wayne could maybe switch out Myers for Ravalawa and who debuts for South Sydney.
That's right. Well, we haven't spotted him yet, and so there's no Ravalawa on the field. There's Stretch with a hand still strapped up. He's been good too since he's come back, hasn't he?
Oh my God, Stretch! Like, again, another player without whom we would not win those 2 first games.
Yep.
His defense is crazy. His running of the ball is insane. His post-contact meters are he's a meter eater. I don't know. He's a. I never want to lose him. He's one of my players. Like Junior, he's just such bad luck last year, missing the whole year. And I think if he can stay fit, we go a long way to making the finals, in my opinion.
And I just brushed him then because I saw this man come out with no shirt on, Ravalawa. So there he is. So we'll be interested to see what happens with and there's Jamie Humphreys.
I've never seen him before. He's quite a big unit, isn't he?
He's a big lad.
He's a big boy.
So Ravalawa, he's there, and so once the ball works on, we will get an indication, Mikey, about what this 17 is going to look like, and if he's there. And there's Wayne's just come out. I
mean, it depends. Have you seen Fletcher Myers anywhere? Or
I think I did see him here this morning. So
okay.
Interesting.
Is that him over there in the camera?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It is.
So they're both out there.
Here.
Yeah.
Fletcher Myers. So, well, I think if I had to guess, I'd say he would drop out for Ravalawa, but we don't know yet. We don't know. So.
Can I tell you someone who's really impressed me and like I didn't think would be very impressive and like has shocked me?
Yep.
Sean Keppie.
Yeah. Oh.
Sean Keppie.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh no, we're starting Sean Keppie. What's this?
Yeah.
But my God, has he been fantastic?
Let's bring him up.
First game, brilliant. Second game was probably his best. Would you say it his best game in the?
I think last week was his best game.
Best game ever.
He was awesome.
Defense. Slick, scoring that try to pretty much even us up the game and get us that win. Sean Keppie, if he keeps up this form, it's pretty amazing what. Let's be honest, Sean is a 50-50 player at best, but what Wayne has done to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I like what he's done to him. He's done a lot to Mr. Keppie.
And there's Zaitas. There you go. So like we were just talking earlier, what happens with him when everyone comes back, and there's Davey Mwale.
Yeah, Mwale. He's been pretty strong, starting each week. Really good.
Yeah. I haven't seen Mum Jackie yet, but let's have a look at Ravalawa in his kit here. Just goes out of focus there. Sorry, apologies for that, but I swung the camera around a bit quick. But there he is, the former Dragon. He's played nearly 100 NRL games. He scored 67 tries. So
is it actually his 100th game this week if he plays?
I think it was 98. I'm not sure.
Oh, so he's coming up. He'll play his 100th game for South Sydney, I'm assuming. Which would be
Ravalawa I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He'll play his 100th game.
But
not for South Sydney.
Not for South Sydney.
100th NRL
I mean,
game.
who knows? You never know. He could eventually play 100.
He might well do.
If we could re-sign. Apparently, the Dragons. At the end of this year, the Dragons, if depending on how he goes, he could actually stay at South Sydney.
Could stay. Yeah,
that's
well,
a possibility.
That's I heard that too. So they want him back at this stage, but if it works out here, then you never know. You never know what's going to happen, do you? So a little bump there, sorry. So,
I'm keen. In my opinion, I would prefer that he does play this week and get some meters under his feet, especially if he will play against Panthers next week. So I'd rather him have a little bit of a warm up. It'd be a fantastic warm up to play against another top 4 team, another genuine team like the Sharks, and then put in a real good effort next week if he plays. So
well, there's an argument to give him a run this week. Just throw him straight in there. He's a big body. He can give us that extra carries, extra go forward. But then also there's an argument to give him a run in New South Wales Cup to give him a run. And I'm sorry, I've just lost focus then again because I've switched around to Humphreys, and there he is, Jamie, the new number 7, and the Rabbitohs just put up a little video where he talked about himself, and he's an interesting guy. He's very humble and
humble Humphreys.
Yeah, his dad played first grade. His grandfather played first grade.
Balmain both, I think. Yeah.
He's lived in England, and so he revealed a few things about himself. And he's just giving himself a bit of strap in there. But there he is, and he is our halfback until further notice. Now, I think the way he's been playing.
Is that Sutton in all black with the ball? Who's that?
No, that's one of the coaches.
Oh, okay.
I think he's the New South Wales Cup coach.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I forget his name. So there he is.
There's the boys.
Yeah, there's Junior to Tyler. It's good to have Junior back.
It's great to have Junior back. I'm keen to see what Wayne does with him because he's been pretty good off the bench. But I'm just wondering how long until they possibly start him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, he's a bit thicker than he was last year, which could be a good thing. Maybe that's his intention. But I'd like him to start at some point. I think he's talented enough to start, I would think.
Yeah.
But off the bench, he's been really good for us. He almost scores a try last week. I mean, he sets up the try for Cookie. For Mamo.
Yeah.
Because he gets the position for Mamo and then he scores under the sticks.
And there's another one, Keon, the new look Keon. He's trimmed up and he's playing good. He's playing big minutes. Him and Jai. It's good to have him and Jai back.
Yeah. Speaking about depth for the lock position, he hasn't really been his name hasn't really been put up there much lately for playing lock position.
No, true.
It's been going Talis, Hubner, and I've even heard some talks of Jack Wighton, which is interesting.
True. And there's Cody just come on with you can't miss the boots and
the
scored a try last week. 35 years old, still going strong.
Instrumental to our win, and hopefully I've heard rumours that we might be re-signing him for at least one more year, which would be fantastic.
Running around at 36 years old in the NRL, and I've got every confidence that he'll be able to do that and compete.
I mean, he says he wants to go to a 40, and to be fair, I think he probably could. I don't know.
He probably could, and then just another bloke over here that's good to see. He's out here having a workout is Tai, and
it's good to see.
That's Bailey Bentley, is it? That's Bentley Harback. It is.
It is.
Sorry,
Harback,
no, Tai is not back because he's just he's having surgery. But there's Bailey, and I thought Bailey did well on debut. Congratulations to him. He's got his NRL debut, and I know the family come over.
He was pretty clutch under the high ball, which was good.
Yeah.
He defended well. There was a couple of lapses, but that was mostly team lapses for those tries on his wing.
And there's Sutton now, mate.
There he is.
One of the greats.
Oh, one of the best. One of the greats for South Sydney.
Yeah, there is. And there's Terry Kurlitz, one of the greatest chiropractors to ever live.
There you go.
He was at South when I was at South. That's how long he's been doing it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He hasn't aged a day.
No, good on him.
There he is, Tezza. Look at him.
That's a good retention, isn't it?
Oh, mate, he's one of the greats. Terry Kurlitz. If you got any back problems, go and see him at Maroubra Chiropractors. There's a free plug for you, Tez. He's not doing it at the moment because he's got a broken hand. He fell over, I think, skiing, he said. But anyway, and here's Pete Mamo. I thought Pete was quite good last week, mate. Scored that try. And he set up the winning try.
He carved up on Supercoach for me, so that was good.
There you go. Good.
He absolutely killed it. I'm glad I played him.
Yeah, he said that he passed that ball to Kepi for the winner.
He passed the ball to Kepi. Scores under the sticks. He really and he defends well. He's basically just a mini Cook in my opinion. So can't complain. And in my opinion, we have made a big signing of the hectic cheese, Brandon Smith.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest at the moment. I want Pete to stay at hooker and the cheese to be in the forwards is my preference when that happens. If that
yeah.
happens this year.
Yeah, well, he'll go all right in the forward rotation. I've got no problem with him either starting in the back row or coming off the bench. He's an impact player off the bench, and yeah, so you can work in with Jai and Keon, no problem. So it'd be nice to think we get him this year if the Roosters let him go, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
In your opinion, you know the rivalry better than anyone. What do you think the likelihood of that is?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a financial thing. If South had the money, I think they would do it, but I think it's a salary cap issue that I'm not sure they've got the money to say, yeah, we'll pick up his payments. So what I did here is that the Roosters will have to pay some of that, and I'm not sure they're prepared to do that. So.
Or would want to? Would they want to help South Sydney? Let's be
true.
honest. If the shoe was on the other foot, would we help them?
No, you're right. Yep. So there you go. So Talis is out there, and so we heard it was a hamstring, but now it's only a hip, and he's stretching it there.
He came off the field. They alleged it was a hamstring. Then halfway through, at the start of this week, it came out as a slight hip injury.
Yeah.
And he was obviously named to start. I think usually if they're concerned about a player probably not playing, they usually put them on the bench. Yeah. So the fact that they put him in the starting 13 position and like such an integral position for our team, I think he'll be playing.
So we'll just have to keep an eye on him when they do the Captains Run 17 and the opposed session, and we'll get more of an idea if he's going to get through that. He'll be playing. If not, maybe he won't. We'll see.
What's your hypothetically, if Talis is ruled out, who do you put in 13, and who comes in off the extended list?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. We've got Jack Wighton back too, but we'll talk about him in a sec. But I don't know, you got Liam LeBlanc, you got Thomas Fletcher on there on the bench. There's a couple of forwards there, but I suppose we'll just have to leave it up to Wayne. And we get Jack back this week too. And
that's a massive in.
It's a massive in, isn't it? So there he is, and So
what he adds to defence and attack is just crazy. So which one is he? I'm having trouble seeing.
He's over there. I've got the camera on him. He's standing next to Hornby now, where Benny Hornby's got the ball. He's got White strapping on his right leg, so him and Ben Hornby over there now. Beautiful. Having a chat.
There he is. There's the big boy.
There he
Jackie
is.
Legs, as they call him.
Jackie Legs, yeah,
Jackie
there they are.
And, I'm very, I would say if we had Jack Wighton there last week, we'd probably win by a little bit more, I think.
There you go,
I think.
So we're going to need him to have a big one against the Sharks, because the Sharks is
Sharks are crazy good this year.
It's going to be a big ask over there, isn't it?
The Sharks, if they're not in the 4 by the end of the year, I would be absolutely shocked.
Okay, yep.
They are, in my opinion, they're in the top 3 at the moment. I'd say they're even ahead of Penrith at the moment, because Penrith are looking a bit shaky.
Yep.
I'd say you've got your Storm up the top, you've got the Broncos and the Sharks close by, and then you've probably got Penrith, and then you've got your Raiders and all those teams.
Yeah. So for those that have just joined us, we have got our new recruit out there. Is it Mikey Ravalawa?
Mikey Ravalawa.
Ravalawa, the Fijian international. And if there's anyone watching over there in Suva or around the beautiful island of Fiji, there he is. There's your boy, and there he's right next to Fletcher Myers. So will it be Fletcher? Will it be Ravalawa on?
Well, there might just be
Saturday.
There might just be a little bit of a friendly competition today of seeing who's better.
Yeah, mate.
Or who can make the team this week?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So let's have a look at them doing their drills now. So we haven't got long to go. We filmed the warm up here on Bunnies TV, live and free. You're watching this on our Georges camera. Head to georges.com.au for all your camera needs. And also, we're brought to you by the greatest club on the planet, the Juniors Kingsford, the Juniors Maroubra, and the Juniors Malabar. Proud supporters of Bunnies TV. We've also got SEQIT, helps us out with all our computer needs. And there's also Global Mouse Travel. If you want to go to the US, go to Hollywood, Universal Studios, speak to Michelle Cheney at Global Mouse Travel. So there's the boys, and like I said, it's going to be interesting. So there's question marks over Talis Duncan, question marks over Ravalawa. I don't see any Lewis Dodd out there, so I don't think he's going to be a late inclusion. He is on the extended bench.
He is on the extended bench. I'll be like, I swore at the end of the game last week they said he came off with a calf injury or something, and then he's just playing or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I have heard it's not too serious, but yeah, interesting to see what happens there.
I'm keen to watch the. I like to see him play. I like to see how he does because
Yeah.
I really like the kid. He seems like a really good kid, and like his debut for the cup side, he did brilliantly. You know, he sets up the first try, scores the second try, sets up the third try.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't win. We just didn't have it in us that game.
I think he
But,
showed us that he can play, Mikey. Like, people that
Yeah.
are bagging the bloke, I mean, pull your heads in, give him a chance.
Honestly, like,
you know, he hasn't even had a chance in the NRL, and that might come yet, but
he's.
we'll have to wait and see.
I think he's a lot better than a lot of people think, just because they're comparing him to Humphreys at the moment. Who, let's be honest, Humphreys is like, I don't know. He could be something really, really, really special. Humphreys.
Yeah.
So it's unfair to compare. Like, it's unfair to compare someone who's come from the UK, played his very first game in Australia, to someone who, you know, okay, Humphreys has only had one game, but he's played all of his life he's played a lot of his career in Australia and this game.
Yep.
And he's more probably, let's say he's more built for this game than Humphreys is at the moment. Maybe Humphreys needs to maybe Dodd needs to build him up a little bit more to make him more suitable for our type of game, because it is the UK and Australia are very different games.
Yeah, true. But I've got him on camera now, and what a surprise packet he's been, Mikey. I mean, no one suspected that he would come out and do what he did. He's cool and calm under pressure. He's got a good kicking game. He defends well, and that field goal just sort of summed it up. That he just got the ball and knocked it over like it was nothing.
It's I've got it. Yeah, I haven't mentioned this yet, crazily enough. But isn't that the most nonchalant field goal you've ever seen in your life? Like, just broken play, nothing's happening, grabs the ball. Oh, well, apparently he was thinking of it, but who knows?
we did.
Because Cody comes up to him, he's just like, oh, I wasn't thinking about field goal. Were you? He's like, yeah, mate, of course.
It was.
But like,
No
it
problem.
was just, and then he doesn't even celebrate. He's just like, oh yeah, I got it, and he just walks away. And then everyone comes and celebrates with him. He's like, you've just won us the game, mate, basically.
Yeah.
And it was and it was, how far out was it? It was like almost close to
it was quite far out.
Maybe almost 30 metres out. So it's not a, and it went far. Like, it was a good kick.
He absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
And you know, kickers dream of that. You do it at training and you practice snapping field goals, but to just get one shot and to nail it like that, it was glorious. And for fans like us who were sitting at home going, oh, how good's this? It was a great moment for Jamie. It was a great moment for this team and club, but it was a great moment for fans like us watching at home or at the game.
Yeah, I mean, I knew some people who went to the game and they had a blast in the borough, and I unfortunately, due to work commitments, I couldn't make it down, but I was actually going to try and make it down to that game. But one day I'll go to the Gong for an NRL game. But
down at Wynn Stadium.
But also would have been really hot. And we've got to say, how well did we play in almost close to 40-degree conditions?
Well, that's right. Well, you wrapped Kepi before, and he's one of the biggest blokes on the field, and he had one of the best games.
Which is funny, because
Phenomenal.
Kepi starts out a bit slow, huffing and puffing, and by the end of it, he's got all the energy in the world, wins us the game basically.
Yeah.
You know, equals up the game with his try next to the post.
Yep.
And he still tackles, and he did some great bone rattling tackles. And
he did. I think he made 40 tackles.
Crazy.
And you don't hear that from your starting front rowers usually.
No.
And but that is huge.
But you know, we need that this week. We really need Kepi to keep up his form this week. If he can do that, we'll go a long way to winning this game, which I think will be a close game in my opinion.
Yep, true that. So this is your 2025 Rabbitohs. You're watching this live and free on Bunnies TV. Thanks to everyone who's followed the channel. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, here on YouTube. We're on X, we're on all the socials, and if you want to reach out, send us a message, give us some feedback. It's always appreciated. I had a gentleman tell me he's watching up, consuming Bunnies TV content up there at Queensland. He's in a nursing home, and the only way you can find out about our Pathways players is what he sees on Bunnies TV. So
beautiful. Thank
you, mate. Yeah, it's much appreciated. And
very appreciated.
we've got some stars in that Pathways program, and I do love featuring those just as much as I love featuring the guys here, because some of those could be the next NRL stars of the future. And I think our SG ball team, they're going really well, and I reckon there might be one or two in there.
Your next Latrell Mitchells, your next Jamie Humphreys, you know.
Yeah. A couple in the Mats too. The Mats have got some quality players in there, some good young stars there. So shout out to all the young players in all the teams, all wearing the mighty red and green. the pride of the league.
Pride of the league, best team in the world.
The best team in the world, and Mikey, you're a lifelong supporter. You get to as many games as you can.
Yep.
I know.
Lifelong supporter, a 7-year member now, I think.
Yep. Did you go up the Mudgee this year? I know I've been up there with you.
I have been in the last couple of years. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it this year, but I was watching that. I was watching the Shield. I got together and we made it a big deal because I love the Charity Shield. It's probably one of my favourite games of the year, to be honest.
Yeah, and it was a bit alarming what St George did to us in the first half. But you know what? After last weekend against St George, I think we clawed that back and erased it a little bit.
In my opinion, in that game, and this does sound harsh, if we did play Humphreys for the full game, I think we win. It's only because that would have been Dodd's first game. He was injured as well. He came out and saying he was actually injured, and it did affect his game, so that's why he didn't play to his potential. Yep. So that's unfortunate. But in my opinion, also, if we did have that Jamie Humphreys for the whole game, we either come close or we do win that game.
For
and
sure.
I mean, we win the one that matters, so
So here comes Jez. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that, and that's us. They're starting the ball work. Just come around here, Mikey. I'll just move the camera a bit. And so there he is, Mikey. That's the guy that's been co-calling with us. I appreciate that, mate. It's good to have you on. I know you've done it before for us, but I appreciate your feedback, and we'll have a look at the live chat now. I'll let you go. I'm just going to get Josh on for a chat.
Cool.
But I do thank you, and I'll get you on again, mate. Whenever you're free, you're welcome to come on.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Josh, hello, Tez. How are you? I was just having a chat about you. I was just saying you're the greatest chiropractor the world's ever seen. If you've got his bad back. Hey, Josh. Josh from the Borough. How are you?
Good, mate. How you doing?
I'm going good. So, did you give your scarves to the boys?
Yeah, I got it to Shannon and Blake, so a bit of a gift for them just to thank them.
Yeah. So, for people that haven't met you, tell us about your story with South Sydney.
Oh, like my grandfather, he was a South supporter. My dad was, so he passed it on to me. So once that happened, that was never going away. And like at the back end of the Hill squad, so I joined the Hill squad there at the back end, and they it was Super League happened, and a lot of people kind of went away. We become the Rabbitohs Army, and then in 2003 we become the Borough.
Yeah, okay. And so the Borough now, it's going strong. You're one of the leaders, you and Michelle.
Yes.
And you've got a podcast now, so you're trying to get a bit of a younger generation involved?
Oh, 100% we are, we're trying to change a bit of the dynamic and get that singing culture back at the games, create more of an atmosphere, very similar to the English Premier League kind of atmosphere they have, and even at the English Super League, that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, and I know you lead the chants, and I know you love it. What's one of your favourite ones? What's your go-to? I mean, stand up for the Rabbitohs. I know you like that.
Yeah, look, the best one's definitely, take me home Botany Road, because that means we've won the game. So it's definitely that. But, South Sydney till I die, things like that. Things that gets the crowd involved in that.
Yeah. So you'll be singing "Take Me Home, Botany Road," hopefully out at Shark Park tomorrow. We'll see.
Well, that's a very rare one. We've only done it twice in the last 15 years, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, and look, I know you're in the Borough, and you've got some scarves that you can get for $30. So if you're at the game tomorrow, we have some scarves.
Yeah, I'll have a couple of scarves at the game. We've only got a limited amount, but next week at the Penrith game, I'll have them there. So the Penrith game will be in our usual bay, aisle 110. So come and see me. You can get them.
And not only are you the leader of the Borough and you love this club, but you do write for bunniestv.au, and you know your footy. So before I let you go, just tell me your thoughts on where we're at the moment.
Oh, it's quite a great position to be in at the moment, because we've won 2 games which, last year we wouldn't have won, and the team showed a lot of resilience in that. Being so depleted, winning those games, makes a huge difference later in the year. And once we get the guys back, we got, in the next couple of weeks, we've got Latrell, AJ, you and Aiken will come into the side, so we've got guys of that calibre. Things can only go up for us.
Yeah, and I mean, someone like a Jamie Humphreys, that's a story that's sort of come out of nowhere, and it's given us a little bit of hope that we might be okay.
Oh, isn't that great? And you've got Lewis Dodd sitting in reserve grade, and he's forced Lewis Dodd to sit in reserve grade and that, and just the calmness of him. It's like that field goal over.
Yeah.
At the ground last week watching it, as soon as it came off the boot, you knew it was going over. It never looked like missing.
Yeah. And it's cameras off for the boys now, but I just saw Trell. He's over there, standing over there, watching the boys train. So, Jai Gray, fullback. I mean, wow.
It's interesting, isn't it? You know, because you kind of look and you know what Latrell brings and Jai brings a different dynamic. You know, his run meters and that, his energy at the back and all that. You know, and Latrell kind of brings that. You know, when you're attacking the line, it's like he creates you know something out of nothing and that things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It is.
When Latrell comes back.
If you're Wayne Bennett, what are you doing? When you got everyone
I'm
fit?
glad I'm not Wayne Bennett. Like it's a tough one, but you know,
want to stay on the fence. It's all right.
See, like I probably still lean towards Latrell.
Yeah.
Just looking at us attacking the line and that. The last 2 weeks, I've kind of looked and thought, you know, if Latrell was playing, we score there. And,
okay.
And that's probably the difference.
I suspect that's what's going to happen too.
Yeah.
But it'll be a shame because, gee, Jai's given us so much at fullback. He's running the ball 30 times. Every set of 6, he's having a run.
Yeah, well,
and those leg speed, you know, it's been awesome.
It's funny. I've noticed a lot of teams are doing that on the you know, the fourth tackle. They're getting the fullbacks to run it to a quick play of the ball, so they they get a good kick away. So it's something that's happening more often now.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the stream up. I appreciate you jumping on, mate.
Thanks, Bravo.
Let's win tomorrow.
Go the Bunnies.
Good on you, mate. All right, so I'll just, before I turn the stream off, I'm just going to jump on the live chat here, and we've got, I knew it, Michelle from Global Mouse Travel. I'm just going to get on the camera there. Has given us $79.99 in the chat. She said, great job, Mavo, thank you. So thank you, Michelle. And like I said in the stream, if you want to go on a trip to the US, you want to go on a cruise, a Disney cruise, take the kids, you want to go to Hollywood, speak to Michelle. She'll give you the best VIP experience for your holiday in the US. She's been doing it for a long time. And not only that, she is as big a South fan as you'll find. I might come and sit with you next week at the sideline, Michelle, when we play the Panthers. I love sitting with you on the sideline, you and your mum, Nola. That's my auntie, Nolene. But anyway, I'll just recap the chat wipe before I let you go. And we've got TSG in there. I'm just going back through. Trevor said this little sound on YouTube, so maybe the sound's down a bit. I might have to work on that. Sorry about that. Yeah, Tech Guide's there. Great coverage, mate. Go the Bunnies. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Steve Phoenix jumped in. Sam Ayuth is in there. Gudgo was in there. Jai at 14 would be deadly. So there you go, Jai at 14. I think that's probably more than likely what is going to happen. So yeah, maybe I needed to bring the mic up here for today. But thanks for the heads up on the audio. There's always something to refine or fix up here on Bunnies TV. We will let you go because I've got to set up now for the Wayne Bennett press conference. So make sure you check back in later today. I'm going to film the press conference and we'll see what the great man Wayne Bennett's got to say. And I'll share that on Bunnies TV across all the platforms, wherever you want to follow us. Thanks again. See you later.